Hey guys, this is Sage here, and today I'll be making a new series called Apocalypse. And don't worry about the each guide, and also a new series is coming later. Okay, sorry about all the background noise and stuff. So, we have our MC walking down the street, and he sees lots of people walking down the street with him. And then he suddenly explodes. Physically, their brains explode. And as their souls are coming off their body, they see a screen saying, "Thank you for trying to participate in this game. Have luck next time." So they're all floating up, and then they see this portal that's sucking in all the souls. But right before the MC's soul goes inside the portal closes, and he's just floating there. He can see the entire Earth and stuff. So he's just floating there, and he doesn't know what's happening. And then portals, the actual events, and I'm just saying, half of humanity just literally exploded, but not all on one side, just like all around the world. Like half of, like each population like exploded. So half of the entire world's population exploded. That math must be wrong, but we'll correct. So okay, so. Now the real event starts where the real apocalypse starts for the people who are still alive. Portals, like ginormous portals, bigger than the ones that sucked up the souls, appear like around the earth and spewing like demonic energy, undead, flying zombies, demons, and then the energy goes down to the earth and starts making dungeons. And in Antarctica, you see a large amount of energy swirling, and that's going to be the base of demons slash undead slash zombie kings, which are all merged into one. So they have like factions, but like the kings are all merged into one. So yeah, that's in Antarctica. It's like really cold. The temperature dropped significantly. And now there's the ice is called dark ice. It's basically soul sand from Minecraft. It literally sucks your soul out of your body, and your body decomposes and becomes the ice's power. So, the MC seeing all this is sad, cause he's sad. All his family and stuff, they're in danger, whatever. So. He gets affected by the demonic energy spewing from these portals. His soul gets damaged because he doesn't have any bodily protection to protect it, and it's basically like cracks. Let's say his soul's like a ball, a glass ball, just floating, and then it's just like, when you almost break something, it's still like cracked, but it's not broken. Yeah. And all the demonic energy starts influencing him by flowing into his soul. Of course, the MC is the MC. Over thousands of billions of lives of reincarnations, he is getting all these memories, flashbacks, stuff like that. But this immense pain, plus the demonic energy, which is another immense pain, directly to his soul, which adds soul pain, which is 2 times the amount. He is crying. Yeah, crying. And you would be too. He's crying and he's crying. And he's crying while he's getting all this memory. And the demonic energy is flowing in him. And his soul starts to turn black. And then, since his soul is now exposed to all the energies of the universe, really the pressure from the spirit world energy is starting to go into it as well. And space pressure because he's basically in space, but like spiritual space. I don't know how to say it. All these powers from, the portals from different dimensions sucking into his soul. And of course, they're all fighting each other for the body. And none of them can win. So a system is born inside of his powers that basically just forges all of them together. Yeah. Then it forges his soul over millions of billions of years, and he gets ether. And his ultimate power, whatever. Ether connected to the system and starts spewing out power from his memories, and just like that. But the main power, which is getting converted into ether, is demonic energy, plus like how do I say this? The system basically like broke realities to draw upon this power. So yeah, this happening over millions of trillions of years, and down on Earth, civilization has grown accustomed to energy, to this type of energy, but they have filtered it to become mana, not only demonic energy, because the gods started choosing their championes to. I know it's champione means god killer, but let's just say they're like champion. So yeah, they chose the champion in like their mind and stuff, mindscape. Yeah, all their champions are chosen, and these are gonna be like the top heroes, like Artemis, Zeus, uh, lots of different gods, and also they're gonna be mysterious gods, which point to the plot of the story. So going to the MP all this time, he gets all his memories. Of course, he can't just be a hero in all of his life. That's gonna be trash. He has different philosophies of like being a demon king, a hero, of course, a anti-hero. All these different lifestyles like fishing, blacksmithing, craftsmanship, alchemy, spearmanship, archery. All this stuff you can ever need to know if you want to be like a god. And also, he actually learned the god language because one of his lives he was a god. So this is basically all backstory. Okay, it stops. All the pain stops, but of course, it takes another thousands of years for him to come back to his senses after all this time. Finally, he's back, and he can see, and he basically makes himself a body, just like that, with the power of creation, one of his powers. And with the all-seeing eyes of God, he looks down to Earth, and they have incredible technology, like they have VR, they have strongholds all around the Earth, connecting each other using portals. Yeah, they're gonna be. They keep the wilderness out while they stay, like different parts, basically taking over the wilderness. And the wilderness itself has a dense, destructive aura, but around the strongholds, the aura is less because the adventurers always go around the stronghold to kill demons, to get their cores and their skin and their bones and their teeth to make into weapons or armor. But farther away from the strongholds, the more demonic the energy gets, and the higher tiers the monsters get. And like around each place, there are different places like the Sahara Desert. They probably have a field boss, which is like a giant centipede that can like swim through sand like it's water, and it's super dangerous. That's why nobody goes there except the ultimate adventurers. The ultimate adventurers are the ones who've cultivated the blood of the demonic beast to the point where they can slap around. They will have some trouble with the field boss, but the field boss never dies because, like centipedes have like different little parts that are connected to their legs. Yeah, and you can just break off one part and regrow its entire body, basically immortal. And yeah, also in Antarctica, they don't go there. They sent a drone. The drone was on for like, 3 days? They saw the dark ice. They don't know what it does, but they know it's extremely dangerous. And they saw the giant dungeon, basically the home base of the zombies, undead, and demons. Yeah. And they start going to the top to see who's the boss. How we have to start planning to get our planet back. But of course, before they can even see the boss, they get a glimpse of him, but the boss destroys it without even looking, based off of aura. So, after that is done, yeah, he basically sees how advanced life has got, but not even as advanced as some of his lives. But yeah, he just goes down to Earth with his body and makes himself some clothes and stuff. Gets himself a whole new ID, and he's just like, and he hasn't made himself he hasn't made himself an adventurer or whatever. I don't know if he's I don't know the course of that. So yeah, he goes around. He's trying to find his family because they're still part of his memories, still part of him. Each memory is a different personalities, which are fused now. So he's not gonna be a hero. He's not gonna be a villain, because he's seen the people he's hurt as a villain, and he's seen the people he's hurt as a hero. So he's going to be, I don't know, probably just like someone who just defeats everybody. Doesn't care. Not gonna be an adventurer because that sucks. He's probably gonna, yeah. So he starts searching for his family. Of course, his mom, his entire family is dead. They got wiped out in the first attack or wave of the enemies, and he, cries a little bit just for his family. Yada yada. He gets over it. And he's thinking, how can I get power in this world to defeat the demons and stuff? Of course, in his other life, he's part undead, which are part of his powers, which are in the system if he wants to activate them. He goes to his system and he activates the how do I say this, bodies of the undead zombies, because I don't really like demons. He's not gonna activate that one. Also activates the body of the gods. Immortal body, sword body, elemental body. These bodies are basically made out of what it is. So like sword power, like actual physical sword power. Yeah, you would have a great affinity with that, and you might even get a technique from it, from deep inside your body, and your mind can escape whatever. Also, people like that. It's not the only one, but they're extremely lucky. So yeah. Then he sees his soul still sucking all this energy because it's damaged. And then deep inside his soul, there's a giant black hole just sucking everything in. So he basically uses the ultimate healing of the gods technique, and he basically heals his soul. Well, of course, this takes forever. It's a soul, not a wound or a cut. And it's not a cut. So, but his pain tolerance is now skyrocketed from the immortal body. He basically has Bond's powers, but it'll take way less time if he gets like ripped apart or like shredded. He'll still be able to live even if there's a little particle of him, and there always will, and he will barely get ripped by anybody because of the steel body. So he activates all those, and he's checking if his companions are here, which are his armor, they're sentient, and his sword. Yeah, he checks through his inventory, seeing millions of items. Yeah, items. And he sees his rings, his spatial rings. He checks inside his rings, and all you can see is more rings and rings and rings, which hold like infinite amount of stuff. And that is smart if you want to hold a lot of stuff. And he has like 200 rings full of rings that have stuff in it, like potions to increase strength, speed, like, and they're higher tier of it. Basically, he was a alchemist, so he made this stuff, and also he collected it and took information from other alchemists, because he can't create every type of healing potion in only one life. So yeah, he was kind of like a wanderer. He wandered around the world collecting information about like the gods and stuff, or like how the gods healed. That was one of his life. Just a nomad, walking, scouring the earth for power or entertainment, whatever you could say. And that's also one of his lives. Back to the actual story. He directly activates his body. I'll say that his skeleton body, he was once the undead king, which gives him the strongest skeleton body there is. His bones, his skeleton, is basically super duper strong. Super duper duper strong. Super duper 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 strong. And his undying zombie body is super duper duper strong. Duper duper strong. So yeah. He basically starts walking to Antarctica. Of course, he has the elemental body, so when he's trying to cross the water, it just freezes right in front of him. And the government isn't having this, and they're like, "Oh, send on a squadron to go get this guy. Who does he think he is?" Of course, they send out these people, and they get, and he, of course, who's a peaceful, non-hero, non-villain, asks what they want. They say their assignment is to bring him, and he says, "Okay, let's see what it's for," because it's not gonna instantly just kill him. He's learned way too much from different lives to do that. So he goes with them, and he sees the head of the world, because all the nations join together to make the United Nations. Yeah, the United Nations, basically, chief, historic point. I think I'm gonna make it Japan. Yeah, historic point. Yeah, there are different like branches. The branch chief, or like the director of the branch, because different organizations like make stores all around the world, and there are branches like the Kentucky branch or the Idaho branch, stuff like that. So the Japanese branch is like, you can't be going over there. The chief, he's like, you can't go over there. He's like, oh, my people are over there. He's like, your people? Don't you know where you're going? He's like, yeah, I'm going to Antarctica. I can send my people there. He doesn't see anything wrong with it, because he can't instantly learn everything that's happening in this world. Or he could with shadow clones. But he doesn't want to. That's a pain. He's a lazy bum. Like me. JK. I'll start making more videos. Back to the story for the third time. The Japanese, the chief tells him you can't go there, and like, if those are your people, we gotta kill you. And he's like, oh, you can't kill me. What are you even doing? I just want to go see my people. Like, yeah, your people are bad. How do you know they're bad? What do you mean? The chief says. He says, oh, I lived with them for a whole lifetime. I don't know they're not bad. And the reason why he's giving these information is like, what can they do to him? Like, for real. What can they do to him? Nothing. Just like escape anytime he wants. Like, yeah, they're not bad people. And then he says, then why do they attack us every time they see us? I don't know, maybe he did something bad to them, he says. Walking away. And then trying to stop them, they pull up their mono rifles, top tier, and it's like, if you keep moving, we're gonna shoot you, and you're gonna die. With his blood aura from being chief, which had to bear lots of responsibility to kill anybody who found about their secret experiments going on. So, with his bloody aura, this man's like, what did I do to you? And then just teleports away. With a smile on his face, of course. Gotta irritate people. So, he keeps walking, but he maxes his entire aura and just keeps walking. And he eventually reaches there. The ice, the dark ice just clears out of his way. Move aside, peasants. That's what the ice does to itself. Okay. He's walking, and he eventually sees, because there's a thick ice fog that basically has like a vampire ability that sucks health and makes itself stronger. It's itself sentient, so yeah. He's just walking through it like it's nothing, because one of his lives, he was a vampire. No! Billions of lives, I tell you. So he's just walking through it, and he eventually sees the massive dungeon. He goes to it, and he just comes up to the door and knocks on it. As soon as he knocks on it, the infantry comes. And of course, they can sense the brotherhood in them. They clear out of his way, start escorting him to the boss room. And everybody they see, they instantly think, oh, human, because he has flesh and he looks like a human. But as soon as they sense it, they're like, oh, okay, and keep guarding or whatever. He walks all the way to the top and he sees his long lost brother. Check it. What? Oh, yeah, he sees his long lost brother in one of his lives where he died because his brother actually betrayed him. So of course, anger washes over him and sees that bastard. But he doesn't only see the bastard. He sees three other bastards in him. They're all fused. The Undead King, the Zombie King, and the Demon King. They're all in one. He sees all their bastard faces. JK. He sees all their faces in one person. And he can't help but be incredibly mad, almost killing them right there and then. He walks up to them and says, "Hey, brothers." And they instantly feel dread. Knowing what they have done to him, they instantly feel dread coming up on them. And they look back because he was basically looking outside the window. Like, you know, the boss pose where you look outside the window and talk. So, like, that's what, like, every boss battle happens for me. Most of the games I played in one. Yeah. So, he basically, his face, you can see the nervousness on his face, but he doesn't show that because he's turned around. He turns around and says, "Hey, brother," in a nervous tone. And you can always see the hatred in the MC's eyes as he walks up to them. He's like, "Oh, how you doing? How's mom and dad?" Like, "Oh, they died." "Oh, wow, did you kill them too?" That's what he said. They're like, no, a human killed him." "What? Do you want me to?" And he says, "What? Do you want me to probe your mind again?" And they instantly get a fear because probing is dangerous to the person who you're probing if you don't do it carefully. And of course, he's not going to do it carefully. But he has immense control over his mana or power. Because, like Saitama, if you don't have control over your power, you're nothing. So, they're like, no, each of them gets to talk. They actually split their body. Yeah. And he says, "You better fuse back together because I'm about to kill you right here and now." And everybody, all the lackeys, or like the generals, because as I said, they're different factions. Like the undead faction, the demon faction, the zombie faction. They're like, the general's like, no, you can't do that. And one of them, who's a hothead, tries to kill him. Like, "Oh, I can take him. And of course, the kings are like, "No!" And he's dead. His head is off. His body just gets incinerated by Blackfang. And he's dead. So sorry about that. My dad wasn't. Okay. That guy, he's dead. He's gone. And he instantly gets replaced by the runner-upper. That's how they stayed alive this long. And they're getting infinitely spawned by their spawners. I don't know. He's like, "How about this?" And he says, "Okay, since I took your general's life, how about this? I'll work for you for 2 years, giving me 2 years to become more powerful." And I totally forgot an important fact in the beginning. So we'll go all the way back to the beginning where his soul is still getting forged. Ether, since his soul was still broken at that time, like cracked at that time, ether, which is getting generated, it's small amounts is spilling out of him, but it's so dense that when it's floating, it becomes like an enormous amount. So it floats down to the earth, but the Demon King, being a hungry bastard, goes and sucks it all up into his body, and right now they're fused. So he sucks it all up, and he dies instantly. He dies. The man's demon power in him, and the ether just eats the demon power instantly. Of course, since the ether doesn't have anywhere to go, it just swells up and crystallizes itself into a ball. But it's still spewing intense power. And before the Demon King's soul is like cut, or like one piece of his soul which still has its conscious, goes up to his generals to tell them, "Go send out your fastest demon undead and you know what I'm talking about, demon undead and zombies, scouts to go find my soul pieces, and he gives them like a map thing. I don't know where he got it from. So that's a quest for them. They go, they instantly send them out, and then his soul gets spread just like that. But eventually he's gonna get little by little, piece by piece. And they have like a soul fuser or whatever. But for now, a new demon king instantly comes from one of the generals, which was a bloody fight. But not for the undead. They don't have blood. Okay, so the generals who won the fight got to be the demon kings for the time being. So the real demon king came back. They were like, what should we do with this orb of power? It clearly killed our master the first time. And they're like, oh, what if we only take a tiniest smidget of a pinkiest piece? And of course, it works. And the demon king gets immensely powerful, more powerful than the original demon king. And he's buffing up with power. They keep it. It's like if the adventurers ever like kill the demon king, the power. Actually, they killed him a few times. Cause this is over Minelia. Cause they killed him a few times, but he always respawns, and that's why he's depressed and stuff. But as soon as they kill him, they get spawned all the way back. They still get their power, but their level is reset. And one time, before they got reset, they saw the ether. And someone tried to touch it. They died. They got respawned. They learned what happened. Humans are tenacious like cockroaches. So next time, they brought a huge amount of mana after they killed the demon king, and blocked off the forced teleportation. Yeah, huge amount of mana, like immensely huge. And they managed to only use a little tiny bit of it to block this forced teleportation. Then they go beyond the king's throne to see the special room with the special energy right behind it. They use their mana, which is only a partial into making ether. They chip off a tiny piece of it, but ether is always growing. So the ball now, because this of a Minelia, is now like bigger than how do I say this? If you know like ordinary dragons, like just like ordinary dragon, like an earth dragon, yeah, it would be like as big as their head, yeah. Oh, like as big as a dragon's head. And that's pretty big, considering how big dragons are. So, they use the immense mana, which I'm saying, which is so much, how do I say this? Undense compared to ether. But they managed with the pure quantity, not quality, to chip off a little bit, and they take it to their like HQ, and they have a special room for that. But they're not dumb and keep it all high up in the ground, high up in the sky. They keep it deep underground. Yeah, you know how demons store things in the sky, humans store things in the ground. Yeah, and only like the branch directors and a few special ultimate adventurers and like the HQ master, which is the strongest humans ever exist, and he's still alive because yeah, like undead blood makes you undead. Actually, undead bones, which are combined with zombie flesh mixed with demon blood, makes a life-longing potion, which takes a lot to gather because you have to get a pure, and if you can't get it pure, you gotta make it pure, which takes a long time, and I'm not gonna explain it because I don't want to. So yeah, the guy who has the power, humans are way smarter. I'm not saying that the kings, I'm gonna say evil kings for now, but they're not evil. They just have different views of the world. So the evil kings Yeah, he saw. They've been spying on them for some time now with a scout. You know how they got there and they got inside the they got like special protected armor. I said they got like 3 times already. So with the special armor, they were spying on them forever because uh, it's basically like poison. The fog and dark ice. Yeah, it's basically just like poison. So they got the armor for that after taking samples and making armor. So I think I'm gonna end this off at a good place, but no, I am. And they take it, and the ether obviously starts growing, and it becomes like the size of a Rubik's cube. They put it there, and the human director HQ guy, who was the strongest human to ever exist, uh, touches it with his smallest, pinkiest part of his pinky, and he gets immense power. I don't know the thing, but he's like older now. Probably the oldest human to ever exist. But he's older, and he thinks I can raise talents by giving some of the power to my generals or whatever. Some important like branches. The HQ is kind of like in the air. Well, some of the important branches, like the U.S. branch, yeah, they got the generals or the chief got some of that power. It was way less than the ultimate chief of like the HQ, because the HQ chief actually cultivated it before it went out of his body. Because like ether isn't gonna stay in some weak body. You gotta keep flowing in and out, but it doesn't want to go back in a weak body unless it's forced by like touch. Yeah, I don't know, weak or strong, but it's weak to touch. Whatever. So I think this is a good place to end talking about power. So yeah, guys, if you want more, like and subscribe for more. I'm gonna make a new series, and Isekai is gonna come out later. Bye, guys. See you later. It's Sage God signing off. Peace.